Hello and welcome to India Career Center, the one-stop podcast for students, professionals, parents, and guardians. In every episode, we will try to deal with a current topic that needs expert advice related to career, career guidance, and career mentoring. Please welcome your host, Dr. S.P. Mishra, to the show. And happy listening.
Good morning and welcome to another episode on India Career Center. Today I'm delighted to host Mr. Amit Gossain on this show. This is the series of podcasts which we are trying to do with the industry leaders to try and understand and unpack for the future generation about how the job market is going to shape up in the coming years. And in that series, we are delighted to have Mr. Amit Gossain today to talk about his industry and in general about KONE, the organization he is heading in the Indian operation as well as the Southeast Asian operation. So, Mr. Gosai, thank you so much for giving your time today and being with us to share your knowledge about the industry and also give a broad guidance to our young listeners and viewers about the future jobs, especially for the Indian context. Thank you so much and welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. S.P. Mishra, and very nice to interact with you, SP. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. As always, I asked my guests to talk about their personal journey so far. So, if you can broadly take us through your journey, both professional and personal journey, that would help us to build a context with the viewers, and a lot of them will be able to look at you with aspiration to follow you as a leader. So, take us through your journey.
Thank you very much, SP. So, I spent my initial years of my life in hill stations, wonderful hill stations. My father had a transferable job. So, I was born in Missouri, brought up till about class 4 or 5 there, then moved to Shillong, another beautiful hill station in the northeast, and studied in St. Edmunds there, and then moved to Delhi for high school. My father, of course, my dad got transferred to Delhi, and we are in the capital city. And then I did my school from here. Did my engineering in industrial and production engineering. So I was always interested in the mechanical side. In fact, I saw my brother doing engineering, and I thought it's a good place to be. And I did my engineering, and after passing out, of course, I had a couple of admissions in the US and other places like engineers do. And engineering was a good experience because you learned a lot from your friends that you lived with, and you know how it is in hostel. There's a lot of learning, playing sports, etc. But then after that, I did a little bit of work and then joined IIT to do my master's in management and systems in Delhi, which is now called MBA. Very enjoyable, and finished that, and with Larsen and Toubro joined the company and carried on for a few years and decided to move to Australia. My brother's already there, so I thought we'll go to Australia, and worked with Case New Holland, one of the largest tractor and construction equipment company. I then headed marketing and sales for the region, which included Asia Pacific. It was Australia, New Zealand, and Asia Pacific. Very enjoyable journey, very focused on marketing. Of course, as you know, that was my core strength, and sales, of course, comes from marketing. So I then wanted to move back to India, and I was given an opportunity with JCB. JCB had just bought out Escorts Construction, 2004 and 2005. I came back, and a great experience. What was a very small company, JCB India Limited. During the last 10 years, I saw it grow. We had a great team. Finally, I was leading sales and marketing and corporate affairs for JCB. It was a great experience, and I could see a 70-80% growth year on year, apart from a few years here or there. But then construction equipment, infrastructure, etc., was booming. So I've had I'd say, a good study career and a professional career throughout. My family, 2 daughters, a wife, and we have a very good life. And of course, I came back, like I said, for my parents. I spent a lot of years with them, and it was a very interesting reunion and living together in India. And of course, you can't beat the wonderful, uh, I'd say culture of India, though chaotic at times, but in chaos has built a good culture.
Okay, so I was wondering, you moved to Australia because of your brother was already there, but then you came back to India because you wanted to spend more time with your parents. In fact, I was curious to know what exactly led to both these decisions.
Yeah, Australia was more to, getting some international exposure and maybe looking at a lifestyle outside of India, which was better. And I'd say that Indian managers, as you know, SP, are very good, but the fine tuning only happens through globalization because you then start understanding the global cultures apart from Indian cultures. It just so happened that I just thought there that parents are aging, I need to come back. And I came back, joined JCB, and of course after that, just to complete it, I joined KONE. I've been with KONE for 10 years, one of a very brilliant elevator and escalator company in the world. So yeah, that was the reason. So I think when you see aging parents, and we're all attached to our families quite a bit, and that is, I'd say, one of the best things that I've done is to come back to India. A good professional life as well as good friends, and of course spending times with your family is absolutely unbeatable.
Fantastic. So now moving on, if you can give a sense of the industry in which KONE is operating. Of course, we'll come to KONE a little later. But if you can give a sense of the industry in which KONE operates, and how do you see this industry moving? What are the growth drivers of this industry? If you can give a broad overview of the industry.
Yes, so KONE operates, of course, the leaders in the elevator and escalator industry. So the escalator and elevator industry, or the vertical transportation industry, is driven by real estate, whether it's commercial or it's residential or it's infrastructure. So it's all infrastructure driven, and it's all economy driven. The better the economy does, better the infrastructure does, better the real estate does. And when all these things do well, the elevator and escalator industry on its own does better. So we've seen the last few years, for example, good growth in infrastructure in India, a lot of roads, a lot of rural sector coming up very nicely. We also have tier two, tier three cities coming up, a lot of housing in tier one cities as well. So because this infrastructure growth, the power plants, the roads and the infrastructure being built, the real estate is also being built, housing for all, affordable housing, and therefore the elevator escalator industry is doing quite well.
Okay, so just to understand a little more about KONE, so give a sense of the KONE operations worldwide as well as the Indian operation.
Yes, so KONE globally is one of the leaders in elevator and escalators. We are in 60 countries directly and presence in 140 countries through our direct presence and through distributors. We have uh, we have wonderful products, very focused on product, very focused on innovation. It's a Finnish company with Finnish background, and SP, you might know that the Finns are known for education and innovation. And so KONE is one such company. It's, for example, come in the Forbes list of 100 most innovative companies in the world 8 times. Um, to talk about this a little bit, not many industrial companies make it to a most innovative company in the list. You could have IT companies or automobile companies. So this is one of the few industrial companies that's made it in the one of the most innovative companies in the world. So a lot of focus on sustainability and a lot of focus on different things. About 65,000 employees globally. Uh, like I said, operates throughout the world. In India, we have a factory in Chennai, a very large factory. That's the largest factory for elevators and escalators for South and Southeast Asia. We have a very good big technology center in Chennai, which has got close to about 1,300 people. Another technology center in Pune that we started about only 4 or 5 years ago, which has got about 250 people. In India, we employ about 5,800 people directly, doing sales, service, technology, manufacturing, and installation as well. And then we have about 2,000 odd installation contractors who've been working with us for a long, long time. Many of them are actually family owned businesses. They've been working, their sons are now working. Father used to work with KONE. The son's doing installation with KONE. So they're independent businesses, but they're part of the KONE family. So about 5,800 plus another 2,500 subcontractors. So in all, about 8,000 people who are directly associated with KONE in sales, service, manufacturing, and installation. It's our main focus, of course, in KONE is to ensure that the customer is happy. Customer centricity is our core. We try and do as much as we can for our customers. Also, in that process, we also have ensured that our employees are happy because we know that happy employees is equal to happy customers. So we try and put that up. We've got about 50 plus offices in India. From India, we look after Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan as well. And we've got distributors and very strong distributors in these countries doing a great job.
Great. You mentioned about the technology centers both at Chennai and Pune. So, can you give a sense of what exactly is the purpose of this? I mean, are they like the
No, so technology center is actually for, we look at a lot of designs that come globally, they come into India, we indigenize that and we use it in our local market based on the local needs of the customers. But they are doing a lot of things for others as well, like we have an IoT based 24/7 connected services. We've got various designs that the design people work with throughout the world and co-create a lot of designs for elevators and escalators to make the elevators more energy efficient, to make it more aesthetically good from an architecture point of view to meet the needs of the various customers around the world and in India. So they do a lot more work. Also, monitoring of the 24/7 connected services happens in a big way here.
now while while preparing for this interview, I actually had a look at your YouTube channels and very interesting interview which I saw of your chairman speaking about sustainability and a lot of talk about the diversity, equality, and inclusiveness. That is something which is embedded in your organizational culture. So, can you tell us more about the value of the organization and the culture of the organization?
You're absolutely right. SPR chairman and our CEO and the entire board, they're all very focused on ensuring a fantastic culture of the organization. I would say, to put it simply, I'd say the culture is on four big pillars, which is care, customer, collaboration, and courage. So we've created an environment within the KONE world of caring for our employees, caring for our customers, and caring for our subcontractors in the society as a whole. Then, of course, the customer who's at the center of everything. So we've actually got all our processes which are as customer centric as can be, and we keep improving it so that the customer is happy. And we keep measuring the loyalty scores of the customer as well. Then, of course, there is collaboration. We've ensured that there is collaboration within the teams in various countries and with the global teams to ensure that we get the best output from our employees. And finally, the courage to do things differently and better and to try new things and try a lot of things. So that's a culture. When you talk about the first part, caring for the society, sustainability plays a big role. And you've seen that the company has gone for carbon neutral operations by 2030 globally. In India, of course, we are playing our role. Our factory is extremely carbon neutral as well. We have a lot of solar energy. We have recycled water, a lot of greenery in our factories and also in our offices, which are we're trying to make it as green as possible. The other thing that you talked about is diversity. We are trying to build more diversity in the organization. And by doing that, when you look at an industrial company, a company that serves our customers, you see that a lot of women don't see this as a great opportunity, but it is. We today have technicians who work with us, lady technicians, doing an excellent job. We have sales managers, we have service managers. So the diversity from a gender perspective is very important. And somebody actually said that in India, if at least 50% of the women force are working, the more women work, our GDP will automatically grow by about 1.5%. There's a lot of drive from the government. There's a lot of drive from public companies, a lot of drive from private companies, and we are driving that as well. We are driving it within our company to ensure that we build a good, diverse structure within the organization, and that diversity gives you a lot of good ideas. It gives you a better culture as well. So yes, a lot of focus on sustainability and diversity to put it. So.
Okay, excellent. So you said earlier you have got an overall team of about 8,500 people already in India. And looking at the future growth plans for KONE and industry in general, so how do you see this growing in, say, next 5 to 7 years? How do you see this team size to grow to what level? And what would be the typical type of people you will be employing in the future? I'm sure it would be something that's similar to the past. And the other question related to this is the what how do you see as a leader at a leadership level as an organization also the role of AI and automation? I'm sure those also will impact the overall operations. A lot of it could be positively, a lot of it could be with respect to restricting some of the future growth potential with respect to manpower. So, can you give a sense of what's panning out in next 5 to 7 years with respect to people?
Yes, so SP, we have, the direct and indirect employment is about 8,500. Direct is about 5,800 in India. So that's part one, but the others are also part of the KONE family, the extended KONE family, which are the subcontractors. So when we look at our employment in India for KONE and for our industry, while there is a lot of focus on computerization, automation, you still need mechanical, electrical, and electronic engineers, right? So we still are in need of diverse functions. We are also in need of corporate communications, for example, or marketing people who think differently and have done, the finance people, for example. There is a need to, while you're automating finance in a big way, but you still need people to drive that automation and to drive the system. So people are required with different I'd say educational backgrounds and professional backgrounds. Of course, AI plays a very big role. AI, IoT, which is Internet of Things, they play a very big role. And we have, I've mentioned before, the 24/7 connected services, for example, which connects all the elevators. And through the IoT, the cloud based technology, the machine talks to another machine and predicts a failure that's not happened yet, and it prevents it, because then the service engineer goes, fixes the problem, and comes back without the customer even knowing that there could have been a failure. Right? So a lot of customers tell me that we're paying for AMC, but your machine doesn't fail. And we tell them, look, before it fails, we've already fixed it. Right? So this is what automation, AI, and IoT can do. Bring in that culture of safety. And I talked about the four pillars of culture. One, two, or three big pillars are again safety in our industry, particularly. And that's what we need to do. And therefore, you need engineers to drive that AI, the IoT, the computerization as well, and data scientists to look at the data, analyze, and bring out results. It's no good only getting the data out. The data has to be analyzed and results have to come out, and you have to make changes to the processes or systems to do that. That is very, very important. Therefore, in the whole system, you try to create these different people working in different things and trying to bring results for the company which are very positive. Therefore, like I said, SP, happy employees is equal to happy customers is equal to happy stakeholders. And while we make a system to build in happy employees, I've also seen that we need to be sometimes quite assertive to our people as well. And I can see that hard work, the whole thing driving in very nicely. So that culture is built in, and we will employ people from various fields as we grow, particularly, of course, for AI and automation as well.
Okay, fantastic. So, it is quite a sensible thing. And also, what is important is that I think young listeners and viewers who are watching this, they should also realize that there is lot of opportunities in the traditional technical fields also, because most of the young children today are actually attracted towards the computer science and related subjects. But there are so many innovative products and services like KONE, what they are doing, will continue to need the traditional people in the electrical, electronics, and mechanical, and probably automation also. So this is something which I thought one should make a note. So moving on, now let's
And civil engineering. There's
and
so much of
civil
infrastructure
engineering.
going on. A lot of all fields of engineering are still going strong.
Yes, absolutely. And we cannot only have computer science. We need all other subjects also to flourish, and that's how we can grow as a society. So now moving on, I think let's try and understand a little more about Mr. Amit Gossain as a person. So couple of questions on your life. So the first one which I would like to know is, how do you balance your personal and professional life? What do you do?
I think I love my professional life quite a bit, so balancing becomes easy, right? I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy understanding their different aspirations, understanding their work and what they're doing and how hard they're working. And just for a balance, I ensure that I do regular exercises as much as I can. I travel quite a bit, so I do sometimes, carry my shoes, walk running shoes with me. Um, Therefore, I think I take that time out. I like to watch movies, so that gives me a break, whether it's at home or go out and watch movies and spend time with the family. So, when you're around with your family and watch a movie, that's the best break that you can get. So these are a few things. Of course, next thing everybody does that. I take breaks in between after a few months to do a bit of travel as well, and meet friends, go with friends, and do a bit of travel, and that keeps gives a good break from professional life. But yeah, professional life is quite busy, and you need to extract time from your professional work to have a break, to remove the stress, if any. One, there should be no stress, but to remove the stress, if any, either through exercises or through breaks and just relaxing your mind by watching movies and doing different things.
Okay. And the last one, who is your inspiration? If there is, I'm sure there could be many. So if you can give a sense of that.
Yeah, so I'd say SP. There can be many, of course. Parents are always a big inspiration for everybody, and my parents were very focused on their ethics, their energy, and were always an inspiration to me. But I'd say my bosses, right from the beginning, have been great support, mentors, and inspiration. I've looked at each one of them, and there is something or the other my bosses in the past have and current have actually taught me. Either to be, absolutely focused on the job, or how do you become stress free, etc. Professionally, I'd see, when I look at it from a distance, I find Ratan Tata, his ethics, his compliance, his risk taking ability to grow, the passion for growth, and the contribution that the Tata Group makes to the society. I think that is also a big inspiration. And the other inspiration that you look at, SP, whether political affiliations apart, but you look at the hard work our PM Modi does, is an inspiration to many. One may agree or disagree with his thoughts, but nobody, including his detractors, can dispute the fact that his hard work to achieve what he wants to achieve is an inspiration. I'd also say the inspiration comes from family. I can tell you this, SP. I look at my younger daughter, for instance. I was slow in decision making, and I used to look at her, look at three, four options, and then very quickly decide, and it used to be mostly right. So I learned that intuitiveness of decision making. My elder daughter, for example, she's always laughing and takes the stress out, the very good humor. I try and build that up, always have a smile. My wife, an inspiration because she keeps me honest on my health, ensures that I'm exercising or eating right, and she's an inspiration. Uh, but most importantly, my colleagues from now and before, my colleagues have always been great inspiration. I look at them, I look at the hard work they put in, the passion that they have, and the fun that they want to have after all the hard work that they put in. But they're very clear on what they want to do when I actually talk to them. And many of them, I also look at work-life balance we talked about. Many of them are runners, for example. They
Right.
take time out to get up early in the morning and start running and ensuring a healthy lifestyle. So these are all, when you club it all together, they're all great inspiration in your life, and you learn from everything that you see.
Excellent. And no, I mean, you really summed it up very nicely. And I mean, personally, what I have seen is that I have never seen you getting stressed despite all your high pressure roles in the JCB organization where we work together and handling some of the biggest exhibitions of India and probably the Southeast Asia. Those were the live encounters which I have seen you in person. Of course, we work together in different things. So those are really great reference point for me, and that is something which I always look up to you in you. And thank you for inspiring so many of the colleagues in the past and in the present. I'm sure you will be inspiring a lot in future as well. So, with those words, any last advice to our viewers and listeners, especially the young people?
Thank you very much, SP. It's been great interacting with you and sharing some of my thoughts. I think for the young people, I'd say that have a passion and follow your passion on what you really want to do. Lead a good life with passion and a healthy lifestyle, and ensure that you have a target, you have the hard work in mind, and you try and achieve what you can do, parallelly doing something for the society as well. But go for it. And computer is not the end of the world. There are many, many different professions. Whether you're a doctor or a civil engineer or a mechanical engineer or an architect or a non-engineering professional, everybody's got a role to play in the growth of the global world.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time, and it's been an absolute pleasure to host you today.
Thank you very much, SP, and all the best. Thank you.